Welcome to the Degrees of Maternity podcast, your real dose of truth for the content creator. Episode number 3 comes from the Creative Entrepreneurship Basics series entitled Stop and Take a Look Around. So, I'm making a little departure from working through the steps in the creative entrepreneurship process to stop and take a look around at the world in which I'm living in. And what I'm seeing is quite troubling. There's so much going on, so many things and circumstances negatively affecting our societies on a global, national, regional, state, local, and community level. And just plain on a human level, it's mind boggling. And then I think, what can I do as a creative entrepreneur to bring some focused perspective on ways to encourage people during these challenging times? After all, that's what I aim to do at Degrees of Maternity. Shine some light into what seems to be a lot of darkness sometimes. But I don't want this episode to be a downer. That's not what my brief discourse today is meant to do. My actual goal with this episode is to gear us up for some action in the direction of life betterment. Now, I may not be able to do much as an individual, but if I'm able to help empower others to figure out ways they can help themselves rise above these challenging times and live successfully while navigating through them, then I'll feel like, hey, I've truly used this platform in a humanly compassionate way. I'll feel like I've contributed in my own small way toward making things better for someone out there. We need that these days, compassion for others. People are losing their livelihoods out here in droves, and the mental, physical, and financial stress that will be placed on people is just too heart-wrenching to think about. Needless to say, making human connections that count is what's on the agenda for Degrees of Maternity. Genuinely connecting with others' needs is pretty much where my mind's been lately. I mean, it always has, but I've never felt it as strongly as I do today. The pandemic has created so many unique needs out there that they're too numerous to count. So, I thought I'd just start with what I can do in my little nook of the world and go from there. I figure every little bit one person can do in a positive direction helps, right? And I wholeheartedly want to use this platform to provide beneficial information that will assist others in using and or developing their own personal and professional skill sets to help them and their families contribute to the overall well-being of their households. And to that end, the positive messaging will continue to keep flowing, but in a what can we do to create opportunities of sustainable and more self-sufficient daily living for ourselves type of way. Seriously, don't ask me exactly what my part will be in such an endeavor because I honestly do not know. But here's what I can say. Why not do what you can where you are and with whatever resources you have access to? And for me, that's my creative content. The call is real, folks. I feel that tug to do something. My purpose driven mission for the times, perhaps, whatever that something is. And time will flesh all of that out. Where there's a will, there's a way. Again, once I really took the time to stop and look around and analyze my surroundings, here's what I identified. There are plenty of opportunities for this creative entrepreneur to create or do something beneficial that provides a solution to real problems that real people are facing during this pandemic-stricken time and beyond. My go-to motto these days is be a blessing. Well, again, thank you for your time. I sure hope you enjoyed this episode. I would love for you to come back and check in next time for some more creative entrepreneurship basics. Until then.